Hello everyone, it is Susan here and welcome to my channel, Susan Hiles Art. So, welcome to my crafty chit chat and slow stitching video that I put out every Monday. And I don't know, I feel like I have so much to do and to say, but let's go ahead and get started. So last week, we left off on this 3.5 by 3.5 inch square because I'm just making random 3.5 by 3.5 inch blocks just because I'm enjoying it. It's fast, and who knows what I'm going to do with it in the end. We'll see. So I believe it was Darlene that had mentioned to me in a comment that she could see, like, because I had mentioned last week that, well, these two blocks have black on them and this one doesn't. And she was saying that she could, like, envision having some black lace put in this flower. And I agree. I think that that would be an awesome idea to somehow like tuck a little bit of black in here. But the only black lace that I have or that I can find at this point is it's cotton lace and it's too heavy. It's not like if I had like a piece of black lace that's nice and thin and frilly, I could probably do it, but this thicker, heavier cotton lace is just not the right thing. It would be too much. So I decided to pull out some eyelash trim that's, black, gray, off-white, like a silver. So I figure I could pull some of this in, which I think will look really good. And then instead of using this thread, which I had all ready to go, I have it all, in the needle and everything, but I think I'm going to change that as well. And I think I'm going to use black pearl thread. Yeah, but you know what? If you look at this all together, if I add some black to this, I do think it will look nicer, more cohesive. So knowing that, I now can see that there's a type of a theme happening here. But I don't know that I'll continue it. But for now, I'm thinking maybe making sure I have a little bit of black or dark gray on each block might be a good theme, so to speak, for these blocks. So I'm definitely going to do that. And then, so I was looking for a needle to use, and wait, I'm all tangled here. Oh my gosh, like where does this thread end? There we go. Okay, so looking for a needle, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have needles in here that, I don't know, are you guys like me where I have the needles in here and I lift them up and I put them right back down because I don't like them. I don't want to use them. And so I'm thinking to myself today, I'm like, well, why do I have them in here? Easy for me to grab if I'm not going to use them. So I figure, let me real quick with all of you kind of go through my needles and let's kind of straighten this up a little bit. And I'm going to put the needles that I don't use as often in this little pin cushion and take it out of this one. And then as I was looking for this pin cushion, I noticed I have this whole set of needles that, well, I'm going to have to take them out and feel them. See, so these are tapestry needles. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to begin to kind of fake that I know that what the difference is between all these. I do know I like the chenille needles. I do. I like the chenille needles. So if I can buy those, I will. And it's because they're long, they're a little bit big, they just kind of work for me, or at least they used to. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is, let me open this and let me make sure these are sharp needles. See, that's part of my problem. I have needles like this one right here, which I'm going to take out of the pin cushion that I use all the time because it is not sharp. It has a little bit of sharpness to it, but it's not super sharp. And I tend to go through, well, layers like most of us do, right? But I tend to look for needles that are pointier. But I have a feeling, well, no, let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these new ones. Yeah, see, these aren't real pointy either. So I'm going to leave these in this packet for now. Yeah, so I'm not going to take these out yet because I don't think that's what I want right now. So, like, I mean, I guess I could change my mind at some point, right? And I have a feeling that these are the chenille needles. So now I think, I'm not 100% sure, because at one time I liked the fact that they weren't super pointy because I'm always like picking my skin, and it hurts, right? But now I feel like it makes me struggle to get the needle through what I'm sewing. So, and the other thing that I look for is the size of the head of the needle. So I like ones that are not hard to thread. So this needle, I mean, it's all right. It's all right. I don't know. I'm going to leave that one in there for now. Let's just kind of look through these. I think what I need to do is I need to take the ones out that have that gold head to them. Like this is a good needle right here. And I know that you're not going to really be able to see this. Let me see if I just put it on. That might help. Okay, so what I like about this is it's a fairly decent size eye of the needle. It is definitely sharp. It's nice and pointy. It's a good length. Some needles are a lot shorter than this, and I don't necessarily go for that either. But this one's a decent length. Would I like it longer? Yes, I would, but it's a decent length. So let's compare. So this one right here, which I already have some thread on, this is what I really like. I wonder if these are the chenille. I don't know, but you see how, let me straighten this up a little bit for you. So the eye of this needle right here on the right, you can tell is much bigger. The whole needle is bigger than the one on the left, but they're both pointy. But I really, really, really like this one. I wonder, this could be the chenille. If you guys know if the chenille needles are pointy or not, I just don't remember at this point if they are or not. All I know is that I really, really, really like them. But I think I've kind of like changed my thought process on what I like and what I don't like. So I'm just going to kind of go through. See, like this needle's fine because, let me grab that little piece of paper again. Because, well, I think it's probably like this one. Whoops. Where, yeah, I think that these are probably identical. So again, it's not my favorite because it's a little bit on the short side, but I'll keep it in there because it is pointy. So I'm just looking. I'm really looking at this point if the tip of the needle is pointy. Now this is one that has a super, super, super small eye of the needle and is good for going through beads and some buttons. It's really, really, really hard for me to thread, but I'll I'll leave it in here. And then this one's even smaller. Like this one actually bends. This needle bends. It's so fine. And you can tell the difference between the two. But the eyes of the needles are, like I said, you know, and the whole needle itself can go through a very, very small hole, especially this one. But I'm going to leave it in here. They're not my favorite. But like this one, well, this one I guess is like this one that we were just looking at with the small eye. Yeah, I think these are the same. But, you know, I don't know. I don't go for those small eyes. And I see, to me, this needle right here, let me grab one of the other ones that I thought were small. So I thought, I said before that this one on the right was short, but the one on the left is even shorter, and the eye of it is even smaller. So even though that's pointy, I don't know, I'm just gonna put that over on that side for now because I think it's too small for me. So let me see. This one's okay. This one, I'm gonna take this yarn out of because it is not pointy. This one's not pointy, so this one's gonna go over here. This one's not pointy either. So the purpose of me doing this is because I'm just tired of pulling. Oh, look how short that is. That's really short. I'm just tired of pulling out needles when, I think I'm gonna put this one over here. This is another short one I'm gonna put over here. Another short one. This one's a good one. This one's a good one. Oops. Yep, this is good. See, I have all these good needles, and what I end up doing, this one's not sharp. I'm gonna put this one over here. Is I end up pulling the same needles up over and over and over again, looking for one to use. And then I put them, oh, this is a perfect one. I think this has to be the chenille. I could be wrong, but it's long. It has a nice eye up on top, and it's pointy. That's, to me, like perfect. I don't know. Is this one pointy? It's a little bit pointy. Isn't that funny? I think I'll leave this one as a good one. All right, so we took out some of them. We took out several, actually. Probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 needles are going from this. I'm going to put this small one over here, too. Are going from this pin cushion to the other one. Because then this way, when I grab these, at least I know that it's going to be sharp. It's going to be a decent size eye on it. And I think I'll just leave that one out. I'll use that today. And it's long enough. And then I'm not futzing all the time with all of these needles. Do you guys have this many needles? And I know I could make like a pouch to store these so I can see them nice and easily, but that is just not my style. I think they're super cool, but if I made one, I wouldn't use it because what I do is I just keep this all the time, right here on my work area, just right next to me, so I can easily pull whatever I want out of here, whether it's a color thread that I see that's already threaded or a certain size needle. Yeah, so I just make it as easy as possible. So for me to stop, you guys know I'm lazy. I'm the lazy crafter. You know, for me to stop and actually have to open something up and look through pages for the right needle is just not me. It's just not. And I know it's not. So that's why I don't use, that's why I don't use, what is it called? A needle book? I don't know what it's called. Okay, so now let's look at this. So where's my black thread? All right, so let's go ahead and thread this. And I always use one of these. I got this at Walmart. I think they're like $1, made by Jan Lynn, Janlyn, Jan Lynn. And I like it because I can easily thread my needles, because I'm not going to sit there and struggle, because I don't have the patience. I don't have patience. You guys get to know the real me. I don't have the patience to sit there and try to thread a needle. I just don't. Okay, so I do like where all of these still sit. So I think what I'll do, what should we do first? I don't have to do anything super fancy, because this flower is going to take up a lot of the space. So I think what I'll do is let's just go ahead and sew. Just trying to make it straight. Just make sure it's in the right spot. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and we'll do some straight stitching just to get this on here. Easy peasy. And I want it in a place where we're going to see, that was a little crooked, that's okay, the black thread. So once that flower is on, I just need to make sure that this piece of fabric is flat right here. Once that flower is sewn on, that it looks good and we can see all this black. So let's see. Yep, see, that's what I want, just something easy like that. So I'm not gonna over sew this. You know, I don't feel like I need to go around and sew the whole thing or even do multiple rows of stitches. Because remember, this is all about easy, fast, fun, relaxing. Yep. If I find, ooh, look at that. Let's see, something's off here. Let me unpin this. Oh, I should have checked that first. See, something's off. Typical me. You guys, you're probably rolling your eyes. You're like, yeah, she did it again. I mean, if you look at it, remember I said when I tear these linen pieces that they go wonky? Well, this is like a really perfect example. So do I leave it and let that piece of fabric be my border, or is it, it's just plain old crooked? It is. I'm gonna go ahead and just remove a few of these stitches, and let's go ahead and let's focus and get that little piece of fabric, this one here, on the right way. Let's do that. And you guys know me, I don't normally worry about something like this, but I don't know, today I feel like it, so we're going to. I'm just pinning this piece to the side. I just want that out of the way. And I don't want to remove this purple lace because I like where it is. But I do feel like I need to fix this. Now the edge is definitely crooked of the block. And you know what? I'm going to pull out. I think I'm going to have this piece go over this piece because I like the frayed edge. So if I pin that on now, much better, much better. See that? Much better. It looks good now. So I'm good to sew. All right, let's pin this. So I'm trying to think what else is new in my life. I don't know. What was my granddaughter's 14th birthday on Tuesday of last week. And it ended up being like a 2-day birthday thing. Only because it was, well, I was going to say it was funny. It wasn't funny because, well, so I think I told you last week that she didn't want a cake. She asked for fruit and, oops, one moment, please. Let me untangle this. She asked for fruit and she wanted Cool Whip. And so that's what I got. She wanted watermelon and berries. So that's what I got. And so I ended up getting strawberries. And because I got strawberries, well, I ended up, what am I doing? I want to keep it easy and stressful. And here I am stressing out. Wait, I have all kinds of thread every which way that I don't necessarily want to cut. I'm pulling it in as I'm sewing here. All right, so let me keep going and then I can clean it up. So anyway, so that's what she wanted. And so I got her, she wanted watermelon and I got her strawberries and raspberries. And raspberries are her favorite. And once I had the strawberries, you know, I had 2 packs of them. And I'm like, well, I'm going to cut up one of the packs. You know how you do it, where you cut up the strawberries, you slice them up, and then you put some sugar and you let them sit. And, you know, it becomes nice and juicy, right? Because that sugar promotes the juices to get flowing. And yeah, oops. Uh-oh. Did you see that? Did you see what I did? I haven't done this in a while. I used to do this every single time I sewed, but I should have, I went over instead of going in from under. So I have to pull this out because I went in, my stitch was on the wrong side of the fabric. All right, I'll try this again. And so once I did that and the strawberries are all cut, has the sugar on them, and I have it all mixed up and I know it's going to be yummy. And then I'm like, and we had the Cool Whip, which is probably not the healthiest thing. I was going to make some whipped cream, but she asked specifically for Cool Whip. So this time I'm going to go from under because that's where this is ending, is under. So I have to start by going under. That's what I messed up last time. So then I'm like, well, I should go get those little, I don't even, it's those shells, they're called shells, I think, where they're like a little round piece of cake type thing, but they have a little indent at the top of them, and it's made for like strawberries and whipped cream. So I figure, well, Let me go back to the store and see if I can find those. And knowing that if I couldn't, I could just get pound cake. And I couldn't find those strawberry shells. Strawberry, I don't know. I don't know what they're called because I guess you can use them for more than strawberries, right? What do you guys use them for? But anyways, so yeah, so I ended up getting some pound cake. And then what was really nice was, well, so that day, which was Tuesday, she was going to come right over after school, and my daughter, her mother, and something came up to where she couldn't come on her actual birthday, which was a little upsetting, but it was all right. I mean, she's 14 and, you know, she's doing something with her friends, whatever, that's cool, you know, that's fine with me. And so they came over on Wednesday. So by then the strawberries are really juicy in this bowl. But it was kind of nice because, so her other grandmother, who she calls Nana, she wanted, of course, to come over to see Madison. And you know what, let me hold up here because I want to put this. So I told her to come over, and she got here like a minute before Madison and Tracy, and we all sat and we just had a really nice, we sang happy birthday. Oh, I did get cupcakes for Madison for her birthday because, well, we always have cupcakes. A cupcake in this house will never go to waste. And I knew that. So I did get cupcakes, and they happened to say happy birthday. So when I saw them, I'm like, well, I just have to get these, right? I just had to, even though Madison didn't want cake. But so we ended up having some, well, everything. We had some donuts. We had, not donuts, cupcakes. We had the strawberry and the whipped cream in a bowl on the pound cake. And it was good. Oh, I sliced the watermelon. This moved anyway, but that's all right. I'm gonna take it off. So all I'm doing is I'm doing like a fake ruffle kind of look here. That's all I'm doing. And every once in a while I'm going through to the back of the block to make sure that I'm sewing it down. So it was really nice. So we spent some time together, and we ate, and it was good. And it was good. It was good to have her Nana here, and yeah. So then that was it. So it turned out to be a 2-day thing because here I was all ready for her on Tuesday. And then, I didn't see her until Friday. So I think the way I had this was like this. So I'm going to go ahead and pin this back on. And I know that it's not as long as the block, but I was okay with that, right? Because there's like a little piece missing down here. But I did want it up as high as possible. So I think that that's good. I want to make sure I keep the ruffle going here. Yeah, so it was nice. It was nice. And somehow out of the whole deal, Madison ended up getting birthday presents from me 3 different times. Right? Are you like that? Are you a sucker like that? I mean, she's my only grandchild. But Yeah, so like, I don't know, a good month and a half ago, she needed a dress because she has friends. A bunch of her friends have birthdays right around the same time, within a couple weeks, one way or the other, as her. And so the moms took them out to a fancy restaurant, and like the week before her birthday. And so she needed a dress for that. So she asked me if I would buy her that dress. So I did. And, and I told her, well, that's your birthday present, right? Which, I'm sorry. I, I kind of figured I would probably get her more. And then what was it? Oh, then she ended up going down the shore, the Jersey Shore, over Memorial Day weekend with one of her friends that have a house down there. And she left from my house. So I'm like, did your mother give you any money? And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh. So, there went another $40. So at this point now I'm $100 into a little bit more than $100 into her birthday present. And then, which I wouldn't normally do because I think that that's too much, especially since I'm now retired. But anyways, and then when I knew she was going to be coming over for her fruit, to celebrate, I was at CVS, and I had to get her, a birthday card. And oh my gosh, so I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna pick up. I'm just gonna pick up. I actually bought one for myself too, but it's a lip gloss, and I figured, oh, well, I'm just gonna get her a lip gloss, something that she can have on her actual birthday, which happened to be the day after. But anyways, so I got that. And then I had to go to ShopRite to, pick up the stuff, the fruit and stuff. So, so then I'm like, well, I know she just finished using a Starbucks card that she had received. I'm like, I'm just going to get her a Starbucks card, a gift card. So then I get her that. So it's like, oh my gosh. So everybody was like laughing because I didn't do very well at controlling myself with her birthday gifts. But that's okay. That's all right. I'll survive. I'll survive. Oh my gosh, too funny. Okay, so I'm liking the look of this. Super cute, right? I have the ruffles here. I have the lace here. I think that that's going to look cute over that. Now, last week, I had noticed in my bin where I'm pulling all these scraps from, right, one of my little bins, that there was this piece of tulle. And on the back of this flower, there's tulle. So it was obviously cut off of something that was tulle. I mean, you can see it was glued on. The flower was glued on to a backing and then onto the tulle. So I figure instead of letting this sit in my bin, I think what I'm going to do, well, first thing I'm going to do is cut it because I don't want one end of it to be a loop. I want it to be two ends. Did I cut that all the way? No. And so let me cut this. I can barely see it, honestly. It's like so fine. I don't know that you can see it at all. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of crisscross it, put it behind the flower. And then, because I can ever so slightly see it, it really is hard to see. But then I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this eyelash trim. And normally, and this might be too much and I can cut it if it is. So normally what I do, let me lift up the tulle and the flower, is I will put it around. Now see, I can do that and then put this here. And I'm thinking it's too much. I don't need this much because most of it is just hidden behind the flower. So let me cut it to make it a little shorter. And now I have this to use. That's good. And I just want it peeking out. And I do want to be able to see the black thread that we just sewed, right? So it's going to be a little tricky, but maybe something like that. Let's try that. See, but that's not enough because you can't really see it. Maybe what I need to do is put the tool underneath this. I think that might make a difference. So if I have the tool there, then the eyelash trim, and I guess I do have to go slightly over. Something like that would work. I mean, it's just enough where you can see it. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm going to do this and then I'm going to regret this. So watch this. I feel like these need to be cut. Oops. Cut that right off. So let's see. So this is either going to be a really good idea or a really bad one. But I don't want the loops. So now, in fact, I'm going to just cut this a little shorter. I feel like I'm giving it a haircut. Did you guys know I used to have my beautician's license? Yes, I did, about 100 years ago. About 100 years ago, here in New Jersey, I went to... Ooh, I like that. Ooh, 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 I like that. I need a little bit more of that look down in this corner. That like frayed look. Let's see. Let me continue with my haircut. Here we go. Maybe that's better. Okay. All right. I can live with that. Okay. So let's see if I can get this on here. Just to hold it on. Okay. Oops. It won't go through. There we go. All right. So I like that. Okay, we're just going to sew it on. Although I think what I want to do at this point, where did that purple thread go that I had last week? I don't know where it went. Did I put it away? That wasn't the color. Now I don't remember. Maybe what I'll do is let me go with... And I know I have a needle here with some off-white in it, and I do. I think I'll use this. So this is this color right here. I don't want the black, I don't think, in the flower here, because I want this sewing right here to be kind of, not necessarily hidden, but I don't want it to be super, well, it is going to be obvious. I can see it already, but I'll try to see if I can somehow try to cover that up with the petals of the flower. But yeah, back in high school, in my junior and senior year in high school, I went to a vocational school, half a day. Let's see. I wasn't going to sew on the sides, but with this eyelash trim, I feel like I need to sew this on all 4 sides. Oh, I can I must be going through maybe the glue right there. Let me find another spot, because that needle was barely, ooh, gosh, that's hard to do. Let me see. I just need a spot where I can get the needle through okay. Wow, this is all hard. Isn't that interesting? Like, I could go through fine over here, but over in this area, I can't. Huh. Well, I think what I'll do, let me go ahead and tie this off. And I'm going to try doing some stitching through the back. I'll show you. This, of course, is all in my way, but I don't want to cut it. So I'm going to leave all that there, and I'll fix it, make sure it's right. Oh my gosh, I have thread everywhere. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I can probably come through and just do somehow stitch this way. Oh, and I can. All right, let me see. And if I keep, yep, oh, I can do that. Okay, it's still a little hard, but, so let's see. I don't know. I know I'm grabbing the flower, but I don't know that I'm necessarily grabbing, well, I guess if I'm grabbing, oh yeah, no, I am. Okay, that's good. I was just trying to make sure I was grabbing enough of the flower and the eyelash trim for this to work. Okay, so that's working. Oh gosh, yeah, it's hard to pull through. So yeah, so I got my cosmetology license back when I was 17 or 18. How old was I when I graduated high school? I think I was 17. And yep, so I went and I took my exam, my state exam, after going to cosmetology at Votech for 2 years during high school, and I passed the exam and I got my license. But what was funny, well, not funny, but oh gosh, I can't get that in there, was that once I was doing it, I didn't like it. Is that weird? I guess that could be weird, that I really didn't like it. Oh, I just pulled out a whole piece. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna have to make sure I get this sewn. I'm sorry if you can see my head. I know I keep leaning over. Okay, so now, all right, it's sewn right now from here all the way around this side. So now I have to sew this side. So let me turn it over and let's sew. So yeah, so I was a hairdresser. I don't know. I mean, when I was in school and I worked part-time, mainly on Saturdays I did the shampooing at a salon that was just owned by, it was actually the wife of a teacher from school, and Mr. Fitzpatrick, I remember. And she had a salon in her house, a real salon. I mean, it was, licensed and all that. So I worked with her during school, and I was fine with that. I enjoyed being around all of that and everything. But once I graduated, and I found it very stressful to be responsible for doing someone's hair. Is that weird? It stressed me out, and I just never felt comfortable doing it, so I stopped. I did not do that long at all. I don't know if I did it a year, maybe a year, I don't remember. But I also always liked working with numbers. So I ended up working in a payroll department, and the rest is history, as they say. Yep, because I went from payroll to working in human resources for, I don't know, 30 plus years. So yeah, yep. All right. So there we go. It's done, everybody. It's done. It's all sewn. Oh, I like it. I like it. I don't know that the black, I think it's probably more of a dark gray, which is fine. But I don't think it's as black as I was hoping. But that's all right. So now we have these three. And I think that they look pretty together. I like them. All right. I'm happy with this. Yep. So I think what I'm going to do now is go ahead and go make a cup of coffee and sit and enjoy it, and I'll go ahead and edit this video. I don't have much editing at all to do on this one. And yeah, so I will see you next Monday with another video. We will go ahead and take another block that we tore last week, and we'll pick out some more colors, because I don't know, I have, let me show you, I ended up pulling a bunch of stuff out. Here's what I have pulled out if I want to work on the neutral block next. So I have some little rosettes, I have some fabrics, some eyelet trim, I have some buttons, I have this heart. I think that heart is super cool, and I have this beautiful piece of lace. So maybe I'll work on that, or I can work on a black and white, right? So I still have that eyelet trim, I have this flower, I have some of this eyelash trim, you know, from what we just used. And then I pulled out this cluster that I had made a while back, and I thought maybe it would be fun. It already has some of this eyelash trim on it, so maybe we could do something with that. And then of course I still have the purple idea going on. So yep, I got lots of ideas, so we'll figure out. I think I want to work on one of these two next. Let me know which one you want me to work on. Do you want me to work on the neutral or the black and white block? Neutral or black and white? I'll see what you guys say, and we'll go from there. All right, well, I hope that you all have a wonderfully blessed week, and I will see you next Monday. All righty, bye-bye, everybody.